Welcome back, you guys. For today's project, I wanted to make over a Malibu Francie, and I wanted to do her hairstyle similar as I can to what is referred to as a no bangs Francie. This is a twist and turn. Well, this is a reproduction because I can't afford a no bangs Francie. It's a twist and turn Francie from about 1970. Was when she was originally released, and we call her the no bangs as Barbie collectors. So her hair is swooped back in a flip, and typically characterized by a headband right here. I think I took the headband of mine off because it didn't match the outfit. But anyway, we're going to try and do that today. And I'm going to show you guys that it's actually a pretty easy hairstyle. It's one of the easiest that you can do. So if you're thinking about rerooting or you want to restore something, but you don't know where to start, I would definitely start by trying a no bangs. So Malibu Francie is obviously not the same doll by any means. It's different face mold, different skin color, and most importantly, different rooting pattern. She has a side part right here, and the holes were actually pretty big, pretty crater size. I just dunked it in hot water for about 4 minutes, and it sealed them right up, which is great because we're going to be making a lot of holes today. We're not going to be following much of the same rooting pattern. In addition, we need to redraw the hairline. See how different it is? Because one mistake I see people make is they'll try to do like a no bang style. It's really popular with customizers and collectors because most of us can't afford or even freaking find a no bangs Francie. And so they do it themselves, but they don't change the rooting pattern or they don't add holes. And something about it just looks a little off. And so we're going to try to... As you can see, I've painted it already with some acrylic paint, but okay, so I don't know how closely this follows the original No Bangs Francie because I don't have one, but I've seen some photos and this is pretty close. So it's just a smidge above the ear, and looks like this is just a colored pencil, not any colored pencil, it's a Derwent watercolor pencil. So it's one of the fancier colored pencils. So let's go about here. Oops, too low. Okay, but I got that part right. Okay, about there. Doesn't have to be perfect because I'll come and clean it up. But that's pretty much the shape that we want. And let's see how low it goes. Her curls are really shellacked. Okay, it's still pretty high. And that probably does match the rooting pattern exactly then, because a lot of vintage and mod, the rerooting patterns were much higher than they are now, because now they go like down all the way to the nape of the neck. And a lot of the vintage is much higher. So we'll probably extend it out maybe just a row. Just a tiny bit at the bottom. I'm just kind of giving myself... Luckily this part will all be covered, so I'm just freehanding it right now. Okay. And let's see if I can line this up. Okay. I'm not a great freehand artist. I mean, I kind of am, but not on dolls. Piece of paper, sure. Dolls, not that great. Okay, that looks pretty even to me. And as you can see, Francie's got quite a high forehead, so I don't think we need to bring it down at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some acrylic paint. I'm going to paint this and then make sure that it matches up. And then we will start with the actual rooting. Okay, sorry I didn't show the painting part on camera. I just had to hold it closer to my face to try and get it even. Okay, that was a tricky part, but very important step. So we are going to be using curly again. I love curly. I love any excuse to use curly. And I have learned that this makes amazing flip hairstyles, depending on the size that you use. 12, 13, and 15 are great for flip hairstyles similar to this. What's great is you don't have to curl it yourself. I'm horrible at curling hair, but we will go through the styling process because that's what's so important about a no bangs, is getting, you know, it to look right. We're not going to focus too much on rooting because I have my other video where I reroot with 10mm curly and it's pretty much the same. However, I am also going to cut it in half. And for Francie, we are using the smallest needle that we carry, a number 7. I recommend a 7 when working with vintage just because you want to be so careful. Okay, that's actually 2 pieces. You know what? I kind of like the thickness of 2 pieces, so I'm going to do those together. We want this hairline to be very thick because that's what's exposed. I'm going to start in the back. The holes got so small I don't even see them. So I'm going to make some new holes. Great part about adding holes in vintage is it's super easy because the heads are so soft. At least like the mod and post mod. You know, vintage is super soft too. And I know this doesn't look much like it's gonna do a flip curl right now, but that's where the styling part will come in. All right, Francie is coming right along. As you can see, she's actually almost done with the rooting part. So I wanted to see how it looked on one side because honestly I hadn't done this before. So I mean, I did something similar a few years ago, but I haven't done this exact thing, so I just wanted to double check and make sure that, you know, I wasn't giving you garbage advice. And so I've got pretty much all of it rooted except for this added part right here, which we will do on camera so that you guys can see like how I'm choosing to root it. Ironically, I am mostly using existing holes. I didn't do very much in the part. The part is very thin. I skipped a lot of around there because if you reroot the entire part in its same fullness, then it's gonna just be thick and awkward. You'll have too much hair on one side than on the other and it will be uneven. I am using 2 strands of hair per plug because as you can see, there's a little bit of space. And so I just wanted to make sure that these holes were thick. This is kind of where it starts to diverge. So let's add a plug right there. And then we can finally get to the styling part, which is what will kind of define her as to see whether or not the snow bangs hairstyle is going to even turn out. We're going to find out together. So I'm going to finish. So as you can see, I am just freehanding it right along the line. But her hairline looks really good. Her hair is nice and full without being too big, because we don't want this to be bulky, because her hair is mostly smooth. It's going to be smooth on the top. So we'll get this done really quick, and then we can get to styling her. All right, let's get to styling. So you can see I just put a little rubber band in there for fun, because I was like wanting her to have some no bangs vibes. So we're getting there. Okay, so this is just a plastic sandwich bag. I just happen to have My Little Pony ones right now for some reason. This is the center of it. So not the edge, not the top, in the middle. And I just cut it out of the bag. So we're gonna do some suffocation. We're gonna put the bag. Normally you don't have it cut this long, but because I need it to go down, like I need the hair to be flat all the way down, I cut it a little wider than I usually do. Okay. And a normal person would use Scotch tape, but I couldn't find Scotch tape. So we're using part of just an adhesive that's part of a label that was. We just want to make sure that it is secure. And now she is ready for some heat. Okay, sorry if the camera's a little shaky during this shot. I'm just holding the camera right now. So I've got Francie bundled up, and I actually put another rubber band down here, just a clear one, for while I am going to put it in the hot water, because I didn't want the curls to get too messed up. So normally I use my styling stand and I pour the water over the head, but that would get the curls wet, and I'm okay with them getting a little damp, but I don't want them to get drenched, because I don't want to relax the curls in this instant. So I've got my little ghetto like coffee kettle here that I use for my dolls. Oh, that's hot. Oh, that's boiling like witch's brew. Let's calm that down just a little. Okay, super transition fail, guys. I apologize. I had recorded shortly after I pulled her out of the water, but most of what I said made zero sense when I went back and watched it. So I'm a mess. So anyway, what I did is I removed the plastic band that I had used to keep the hair down, because obviously when I keep these curls up, I just did that to protect it from the water. I stuck her in the freezer. Oh, really quick, sorry. And I didn't stick her head in for 30 seconds. I only did it for like 10 seconds because the water was so hot. And then after that, a few minutes later, I put her in the freezer. I just sit the head in there. I know that's super weird, but it's a trick I learned and I really like it. And so she's been sitting drying for a little over an hour, I believe. So let's take this off, see if it turned out. Suddenly flashback to that episode of The Twilight Zone where they were moving. But anyway, sorry, she's a little damp. All that water trapped in there. Check it out. I think it worked. Okay, the rubber band broke. That's a reason why you have to use tape on the plastic piece and not a rubber band, because the rubber bands will break in the hot water. So let's do another one. starting to get a vibe here. Okay, I'm going to start by just cutting, like, I need to work my way up, but I get super nervous about cutting hair because there's so many times that I've accidentally cut it too short. I'm like, cool, now I have to start all over again. So let's just take a tiny section. I am using my Doll Planet hairstyling scissors. These are definitely worth it. These are fantastic. These are like salon grade. Let's start right there. And totally uneven. Typically me. Okay, I'm gonna trim it. I'm gonna trim it a little bit more. And we'll see if we can't get some curls going. Sorry, I freaked myself out there for a second. I was like, I cut it too short. I ruined it. I did the thing I just said I was afraid of. But I think she's gonna be okay. I started just messing around with it like this. I'll show you on the other side, and I was like, oh, that kind of looks like that's gonna work, so let's do it over here. So this side is a tad longer. Either it's gonna look better or I'll trim both sides, I don't know. So I'm just using my index finger to kind of guide it. Oh yeah, we'll definitely trim that. But see, look at that. Yeah, you just have to direct it. And then whatever piece are too long, you just trim it. No foil perming required, which I like very much. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep doing that for a little bit. That will be really boring to watch. Oh, I did add 2 colored rubber bands to kind of give more of the look. I have a pink outfit I'm gonna put her in, which is why I chose a pink headband. So I will give a 360 view when she is fully done. Here she is. Let me show you the back. It's all even, with the exception of over here where I cut it too short. So just learn from my mistakes. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found this helpful. Please subscribe. And if you liked this, stay tuned for more content coming soon. Thanks.